This is a public meeting, so public meetings are open for public view, not behind closed doors. They're governed by Title 74 of State Code, and those in attendance at public meetings, which we're at tonight, have a right to observe, to watch, to be here, to listen, not to participate. Those in attendance have a right to observe, not participate in the board's receipt of information, discussion, decisions. If there is a public hearing, as opposed to a public meeting, then the residents have an opportunity to participate. And when I say participate, a time to get up and speak to the governing board, whether it's City Council, Planning and Zoning Commission, School Board, the Cemetery Board, Highway District. So I've looked at the agenda tonight, and it looks like there are no public hearing items on it. So I'm thinking, I guess Mr. Chairman can confirm, but I'm thinking tonight is a public meeting. Everybody here has a right to observe. And if you would like to comment, that right does not present itself at this meeting. Please follow the chairperson's instructions on how to comment, okay? The last board meeting became chaotic, and many individuals were out of order and disruptive. To maintain order at tonight's meeting, only the individual that the chairman of the board recognizes may speak. That way, one person speaks at a time, and everyone else can hear what the individual has to say. This applies to board members as well as the audience. Those in the audience. Comments, here's the important part, comments from someone other than the person recognized to speak is deemed disorderly conduct and a violation of City Code 10.2.1, and officers present, law officers, please raise your hand. We've got a few more of them here, 2 at the back, 3 one on the side. Law officers present are prepared to issue citations to those being disorderly. We're happy to be here, happy to observe the process, and we'll do it in an orderly manner. The first citation is a $50 fine, the second $100, the third $200, and the fourth will be an arrest. It's a misdemeanor. And that's when you would be escorted from the room and invited to not observe anymore. So tonight we talked a little bit about the right to observe, right to participate, public meetings, public hearings, what disorderly conduct can mean if you're not recognized to speak out loud. And please don't disrupt the meeting for those sitting around you or for the board. Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing me just a moment to visit, and thank you all for coming. What a great group. Passionate subjects, and that's the way it works. You're doing the right thing, please be orderly about it. And as you exit today, everybody please exit in peace. I did hear the video last time. Is Amy Peterson here? Is Amy the right word? Alicia. Is Alicia Peterson in the room? Anyway, she was streaming live video last meeting, so I got to see some of it, and it was pretty bad. I was telling my wife, I'm going to put my clothes on and go down there. To threaten somebody, if you say you're dead, you're running really close to being arrested. So please, let's do our best to be disciplined and remain in order. Parents, thank you for setting a good example for the many, many students who are here. Students, do you think parents can learn something from you tonight? Yeah? All right, keep your moms and dads in order. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I do want to thank everyone for being here. I'd like to thank Mayor Taylor, who wanted to speak and kind of give some information on open meetings, as the city has a little bit more experience with that than we do. I would like to address that none of the items on the agenda tonight are public hearings, and all the board discussion all are for board discussion and decision. So, but with that, I'd like to also say that I love you guys for being here, and I love what you're doing. I think it's highly honorable, and you're doing a good job. And thanks for coming. Also today, we will not be having public comment. I would like to ask that everybody who would like to comment, though, send an email to the district and I will personally read each one and respond back to it, and the other board members will have the opportunity to do that as well. That way we can provide you a great opportunity to address your concerns. So, thank you very much, and we'll get on with the meeting.
Be recognized.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure, but I keep pounding my head against this, that it's not, what you just said is not a board approval, a full board. Did you agree with it, Alicia? Do you agree with it? Right, but we didn't discuss that as a board. And so it's hard for me to wrap my brain, and I might be the bad guy once again, but I'm pounding my head with frustration that is not a board approved statement.
That part of it, I understand your concern, but that part of it does not need to be.
It does, when it deals with an action item according to, that's been a long-standing thing, Tim, since I've been here, that public comment.
I don't want to get in an argument, get up here.
I agree.
I understand, and we can look at that, okay?
Right,
But for tonight, we will have.
You have no jurisdiction to do that without full board approval, and I'm trying to be respectful of
Okay,
that, Tim.
I understand. The board chair sets the agenda,
And I agree with that.
and with the administration.
But with no action, what
Input.
was an action that you chose to take tonight?
Having public comment is not an action item.
No, but
So.
that is not your jurisdiction. You know
I
that.
understand,
Okay,
and
it's
your
just
concern is duly noted, okay? At this time, I will accept, we can approve the agenda.
that we approve the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
I'd like to amend the agenda. I ask for a motion to amend the agenda.
Noted, you can move.
Amend it.
Go ahead and make your motion.
Okay, with the outpouring of support and over 500 plus signatures, I'd ask that we put on the agenda to reinstate Mr. Merrill as principal.
This is a public meeting, and I would ask that you hold your applause until the end. I will call for a second. Motion dies for lack of second. Motion on the table is to approve the agenda as written. Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
So moved. The vote is 2-1. Next item is the consent agenda. And I would entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approval of the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved. Next item is action items number 5. And item 5A, consider approval of setting Monday, June 10th, 2019, 6 p.m. in the district boardroom as the date, time, and place for our annual Middleton School District budget hearing for this upcoming 2019-2020 school year. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve action item A.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Point of information from
Go ahead.
Yeah, so this, oh, sorry. So this is just this is kind of how we've always done that. It's an item code that we have to have the budget hearing within so close to the end of the fiscal year for next year's budget. So at that time, we'll be amending our current year budget. So that budget ends June 30th, 2019. And then we'll also be looking at the 2019-2020 budget. So our fiscal year runs from July 1st through June 30th of each year.
Item 5A has been moved and seconded. Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Action item 5B, consider approval of health insurance renewal with Idaho School Benefit Trust.
So this is our renewal for our health insurance and dental and vision insurance for next school year. Our health insurance is on a September 1st through August 31st timeframe. So this renewal goes into effect on September 1st. And I know that kind of seems weird, but all the teacher contracts and teacher start dates, their pay starts in September. So that's kind of when all the teacher contracts roll at the same time. The Idaho School Benefit Trust is actually a pool of districts that come together to try to